So in the last session, we have started with our new module, that is design of axially loaded columns. In the last session, we have discussed about some theoretical concepts and fundas regarding to axially loaded columns, and also we have discussed an analysis problem regarding it. So in today's session, we will be covering more numerical problems regarding our analysis and design of RCC columns. So moving towards our first question of today. The question is, RC, that is reinforced concrete short column, square in section, the section is already being prescribed in the question, has to resist a factored axial load of 2000 kilonewton, and axial load of 2000 kilonewton which is already been factored is given in the question. Use concrete grade M20 and steel grade Fe415, assuming 2% of longitudinal steel. Now what do you mean by 2% of longitudinal steel? As we have discussed in the previous session, that there are some criteria or limitations regarding the PT, that is percentage of steel content in columns. The minimum range that we need to take according to our IS code is 0.8%, and the maximum that we can apply is 6%. In most of the subs, this criteria, that is the percentage of steel content, is already been prescribed, and if it is not prescribed in the question, you can assume between the range, that is 0.8% to 6%, and generally will be following the criteria that we will be discussing later on. So in this case, it is given that the PT content, that is steel content, is 2% of longitudinal reinforcement, that is 2% of total gross section area. So if we take AG to be the gross section, then the steel content, that is ASC, will be 2% of AG. And it is been asked to determine three cases. The first thing is to find the size of the square column, that is the dimensions. The second is to find the area of longitudinal reinforcement, that is the ASC will be providing. And the third is pitch and diameter of lateral ties. Now this lateral ties will be designed according to the criteria that has been prescribed in the IS code. We will be looking further to it, and the pitch and diameter we need to find out from this example. So starting with our sum. The first thing that is given in the question is the load. So PU is given as 2000 kilonewton. FCK, that is M20, so 20 Newton per mm square, and Fi 415 for Fe415 steel, and AG will be assuming the gross area of column. Now as it is given in the question that 2% steel is provided, and as we have discussed that is ASC, that is area of steel content, will be 2% of total area. So 2% of total area, that comes out to be 2 divided by 100 into AG. So the ASC, that is steel content, comes out to be 0.02 AG in the form of equation. Clear? 2%. So if we convert it into equation form, it is divided by 100. So 2 divided by 100, and it comes out to be 0.02 AG in the form of equation. Now this is the equation based on ASC, that is area of steel in compression. Now from this equation we will be finding the value of area of concrete, as we have discussed that gross area, that is AG. Gross area comprises of two materials, that is concrete and steel. So the total area will be comprising of only these two things, that is concrete and steel. So if in this case, if we make AC as our subject, our equation comes out to be AG minus ASC, and ASC we have already found out in the terms of AG. So substituting that value here, AC, that is area of concrete, comes out to be 0.98 of AG. Clear? So in this step, our ultimate goal will be to find AG, that is gross section area, and from that we will be identifying our first case, that is size of a square column. So moving further, after finding these things, the next thing will be to find the equation. So from page number 71, as you can see here, we have discussed it earlier, we will be using this equation mentioned in our clause 39.3. The equation is PU equal to 0.4 FCK AC plus 0.67 Fi ASC. Clear? So AC, that is area of concrete, and ASC, that is area of steel. We'll be substituting in the terms of AG that we have calculated earlier. So here, as per our IS code 456, page number 71, you can see the equation we'll be using here. So substituting the values, the AG, that is gross section, comes out to be this mm square. Yeah? Now, as per question, it is asked to design or to find the contents for a square section. If it is asked for rectangular section, the sum will be somewhat different, but here it is asked for a square section. So for square column or for square section, we always need to find the value of the length or width, you can say that. Clear? So as you know, the square is either b cross b or d cross d. That means the dimensions, that is in the x-axis and dimension in the y-axis, will always be the same. So just we need to square root of this value. So after square rooting this value, will be getting the size of the dimension, that is a size of the width, or you can say breadth. Yeah? So the size of column comes out to be 386.32 mm. Now as we know that we need to round it off to the value, so we will always be rounding it off to the next higher whole number, that is 400 mm. In the terms of column, keep in mind you always need to round it off to a particular whole number. Let us say 350 mm, 400 mm, 450 mm, etc. If you substitute, or if you round it off here to 390, it will be good, but it will be not practically feasible to construct a column of size 390 mm. Clear? So it is better to round it off to a whole number, that is either in the terms of 50s. So here we have provided a column of size 400 cross 400. So this was the AG that was required, and after increasing the size, this is the AG that we have provided. Clear? So this is the AG that we'll be dealing with. So AG provided comes out to be this value, and next we'll be checking that whether this criteria is satisfied or not. Clear? So this criteria that we have discussed, that E minimum should not be exceeding or should be less than 0.05 times the lateral dimension. So we'll be identifying this thing, that is for short axially loaded column, E minimum should be less than 0.05 D. So here, as you can see from page number 42, the first thing that we need to find out is the value of E. Clear? Now this is something new, so keep in mind and take a note of it. To find the eccentricity, we'll be always going to page number 42 of your IS code. There you can see the clause that is mentioned 25.4. The clause 25.4 is for minimum eccentricity, and E minimum is already minimum eccentricity that we'll be finding out. So in this case, as you can see here, it is mentioned all columns shall be designed for minimum eccentricity that will be equal to unsupported length of column divided by 500 plus lateral dimensions divided by 30. So this is our equation, that is to find minimum eccentricity. The equation is unsupported length of column divided by 500 plus lateral dimensions divided by 30, and subjected to minimum of 20 mm. It is mentioned that it has to be a minimum of 20 mm. If the value comes out to be, using this equation, comes out to be less than 20 mm, then we'll be always taking the value to be 20 mm. Yeah? But in this case there is a limitation. In the question, the unsupported length of column is not mentioned. So whenever in the question, if the situation arises like this, that the unsupported length or the length of column is not mentioned, then you always need to take the minimum value that is provided in our IS code. Right? If the length or the unsupported length of column was given in the question, we will be solving eccentricity using this equation. But in this case, the unsupported length is not mentioned in question, so we will be taking the value of E min to be 20 as the minimum criteria that is given in our IS code. So we'll be taking the E value to be 20, and we'll be finding the dimension, that is D, lateral dimension. Clear? So in this case, it is proven that 400 should be less than or equal to D. That is, the dimension that we have provided should be greater than or equal to 400. Clear? So as we know that we have provided the dimension to be 400 cross 400, so it is this check is verified and the dimension that you have provided is okay. If it was less than, then you need to go one step back and provide a higher value and then come back to this step for the check. Clear? So the next thing will be to find that the minimum 400 mm dimension is required, and from that the longitudinal reinforcements can be calculated. So for longitudinal reinforcements, again we will be using the same equation that is given in the page number 71. So from that equation, you just need to note now that you need to find the value of ASC. Clear? So equation will be the same, just substitute the values of AG and keep the term ASC to be unknown, and from this equation again you will be getting the value of ASC, that is AC. So AC's equation here will be coming to be AG minus AC. Clear? And AG will be our AG provided. So we have provided AG, that is gross area, to be 400 cross 400. So here it comes out to be 400 cross 400 minus ASC, that is area of steel content. So in this equation, the only unknown that is remaining is ASC, So solving it, will be getting ASC to be something around 2,666 mm square. And after that, from steel table, we'll be finding the diameters and number of bars. Now here I have provided a composite section. You can still provide a homogeneous section, that is I have provided 2 bars of different diameters. You can still keep whole diameter and take your sections accordingly as per the criteria, that is it should be greater than 26.67 from your steel tables. Okay? So here I have provided 4 numbers of 25 dia plus 4 numbers of 16 mm dia, and the total ASC that I have provided comes out to be 2767. You just need to know that the ASC that was required should be less than what it will be provided. Clear? So irrespective of the bar diameter, of the number of bars, you just need to satisfy these both cases, and even if you change the diameters or the numbers, that will be okay if the criteria is mentioned. Clear? But keep in mind, the number of bars should be always in the even numbers. Clear? Do not provide odd number of bar, that is let us say 3 numbers of bar or 5 numbers of bar, because as we are dealing with a column, so let us take an example. Suppose this is a column always need to be a symmetric section, so the number of bars provided in the left hand face should be equal to the number of bars provided on the right hand face. Clear? So you can't provide odd number of bars, because while providing odd numbers of bars, there will be no symmetry between the left hand side face and the right hand side face. So for particularly columns, you always need to provide even number of bars, that is the minimum number of bar for a rectangular or square column should be 4, and maximum it can be up to 8 or 10. Clear? And the minimum number of bar for a circular column, as we have discussed in the last section, should be 6. So keep in mind while finalizing the steel content of it. So in this case, our second step is completed, second question is completed, that was to find the area of longitudinal reinforcement. Now we'll be moving towards the third case, that is to find the pitch and diameter of lateral ties. First we will be looking upon to find the diameter of lateral ties, and to find the diameter of lateral ties we'll be moving to page number 49 of your IS code. So moving to page number 49, pause this video and go to page number 49. There you will be seeing a clause mentioned here, that is referring to point number C, and here it is mentioned as pitch and diameter of lateral ties. Clear? So in this clause itself we can identify, or we can obtain the values of pitch and diameter of our lateral ties, and lateral ties is always provided when the section is either rectangular or square. Clear? So first we will be moving on to this portion, that is diameter. It is mentioned the diameter of polygonal links or lateral ties, in this case it is for our lateral ties, shall not be less than 1/4 of diameter of largest longitudinal bar. So there are certain criteria mentioned here, so we need to focus with the cases. So the first case here is should not be less than 1/4 of diameter of largest longitudinal bar. Longitudinal bar, that means the main diameter that we have just provided, and in no case shall be less than 16 mm. Clear? Now keep in mind there is a printing mistake here, it is not 16 mm, it is 6 mm. So for examination purpose, keep in mind there is a printing mistake in our IS code. This value is 6 mm, not 16 mm. So do not change anything in your code, just remember for future references. So our two cases comes out to be 1/4 of the diameter of the largest longitudinal bar. So we have provided two cases in this, that we have provided two diameters, so we will be taking the larger diameter that we have provided, and the larger diameter that we have provided was 25. So in this case the value comes out to be 1/4 of 25, and solving it the answer comes out to be 6.25. and second case it is 6 mm, and it is mentioned that it should not be less than. Clear? So we always need to provide the higher value of these two cases, that is we always need to find two cases. The first case is 1/4 of the diameter of the maximum diameter that we have provided, and the second value is 6 mm, and after finding these both values we always need to provide the maximum value that we are getting. So maximum value that we are getting here is 6.25. Clear? So the bar diameter should be at least 6.25, but as we know that 7 mm bars are not available in the market, so the minimum bar that we can provide is of 8 mm. So here the final answer will be providing 8 mm diameter lateral ties. Clear? So here from this step our diameter of lateral ties has been finalized, and the next step will be to find the pitch of lateral ties. And pitch of lateral ties, again from the same page, same equation, or the same cases we will be seeing. Now we will be moving on to the top case 1, that is given for pitch. Here it is mentioned the pitch of transverse reinforcement, that is lateral ties, shall be not more than least of the following cases. That means these three cases are given and it should not be more than the minimum value of it. Clear? So the first thing is the least lateral dimension of compression member. Compression member, that is a column. So the least lateral dimension of column is 400 mm because it is a square column. So both the sides will be of 400. If you have provided the rectangular column, that here you will be substituting the lesser value. And the second thing is 16 times the smallest diameter, and our smallest diameter was 16. So 16 times 16. If you have taken homogeneous section, then in the previous case and this case the bar diameter will be same. So this will be a second case, and the third case is 300 mm. So out of these three cases we always need to provide the smaller value. So the smaller value out of these three cases comes out to be 256, but as we can't provide 256 mm spacing, so we will be rounding it off to the least value, that is 250. So we will be providing the pitch to be 250 mm, that is the distance between two lateral ties will be 250 mm. So the final answer will be providing 8 mm diameter lateral ties at 250 mm center to center spacing. So this was our first numerical, and now we will be moving on to the next numerical, that is design a RCC short column, square in section, again the column is square, to carry an axial load of 3000 kN. Use M20 concrete and Fe415 steel. Here it is mentioned assume 1% of longitudinal steel and unsupported length of column is given. The main difference between these two examples is that in the previous case unsupported length was not mentioned, and in this case unsupported length of column is given in the question. So basically our first steps will be the same. The first thing will be to find the relation between AG and ASC. So as we know that 1% of steel is provided is given in question. So ASC will be 0.01 AG, and from this equation we'll be always calculating the term AC. So AC here comes out to be 0.99 AG. Now we'll be moving towards our load, but now keep in mind here it is mentioned in question that it is an axial load of 3000 kN. Again the parameters will be same. Whenever a load or moment is mentioned, you always need to see that whether it is given a design factored load or not. If it is a design load or a factored load or ultimate load, there is no need to multiply it by factor of safety as we have seen in the last example. But here it is mentioned as it is given as axial load. It is not mentioned that whether it is a design load, a factored load or ultimate load. So the first step will be to find the factored load or a design load. So the factored load in this case will be 1.5 into the load that is being given. So the answer comes out to be 4500 kilonewton. So moving further, we'll be using this equation that is from page number 71, and we'll be solving the value of AG. So as per this equation, the AG value comes out to be this, and now as it is mentioned in question that we need to find the area of a square column. Clear? So area is already mentioned. Now we'll be finding the sides, and as it is given a square column, so the side of square column will be the square root of the answer that we have obtained, and the value comes out to be 648.5. Now rounding it off, the next minimum value that we will be rounding it off will be 650. So we'll be providing a square of size 650 cross 650, and this will be our AG provided, that is 650 into 650. Now from this case we'll be finding the value of ASC again. Clear? But keep in mind, now we'll be using the same equation again, but now this time we will be substituting the values and we'll be keeping ASC to be our unknown. In the previous step we kept the value of AG to be unknown, and this case we'll be substituting the value of ASC to be unknown by providing the value of AG, that is gross area, that we have provided, that is 650 cross 650. So solving it, we are getting an answer 4150 mm square, and thereby providing the steel content, we are getting 8 numbers of 28 mm diameter. Here I have provided homogeneous, you can still vary it, but just keep in mind that the ASC that is required and ASC that is provided value should always be greater than the required value. Clear? There is no limitation that you need to just provide a higher value. That is, if I am getting a value to be 4150, then my provided value should be 4200, 4300. There is no such limitations. You can provide any steel content, but the only check is required is that the ASC provided should be greater than ASC required. Clear? So next, moving further, we will be finding the diameter of lateral ties. So diameter of lateral ties, again from the same equations and same page, we will be using these cases. That is, two cases are being mentioned. First is 1/4 of the diameter of largest longitudinal bar. We have provided our longitudinal bar to be of 28 mm, so the diameter comes out to be 7 mm, and in second case it is mentioned 6 mm. Again, printing mistake is there, the value is 6. So out of these two, the highest value is 7. So we will be providing the lateral ties to be of 8 mm dia, because 7 mm diameter is not available in market. So we will be providing a lateral ties of 8 mm dia. And the next thing will be to find pitch. So to find pitch of section or pitch of lateral ties, again we'll be using the same equation. Here the three cases will be mentioned as here. So first will be the least lateral dimension, as it is a square column, so both the sides will be of same dimension, that is 650 mm. So least value will also be 650 mm. Second is 16 into smaller die is again 28, because we have provided a homogeneous section, so the value here comes out to be 448. And the third is 300 mm. Out of these three, we always need to take the smaller value, because it is mentioned in our code here. Okay? So out of these three, the smaller value is 300. So we'll be providing 8 mm dia lateral ties at 300 mm center to center spacing. So this is our design of columns. Now the check is must. Whenever in question the unsupported length of column is being mentioned, you always need to check the criteria for minimum eccentricity. So the next step will be to check for eccentricity. As we all know that eccentricity can be obtained from page number 42, we have discussed earlier. So from this equation we will be calculating the value of E minimum, that is minimum eccentricity, and the equation is as mentioned here, that is E minimum is equal to unsupported length of column divided by 500 plus lateral dimensions divided by 30. So we will be using this equation to find E minimum. So in this case, E minimum will be L, that is unsupported length, divided by 500 plus D, that is lateral dimension, divided by 30. Here the unsupported length of column is given as 3 meter, so the value comes out to be 3000 plus D, that is a lateral dimension was 650, so the value comes out here is 27.66. clear? So the minimum eccentricity here is 27.66, but you always need to check that subject to a minimum of 20 mm. That means whatever you get the value from the equation, it should be always greater than 20 mm. If it is less than 20 mm, then we must always provide the value to be equal to 20 mm. Clear? So here in this case, as it is greater than 20 mm, we will be taking E minimum to be 27.66 mm. Clear? So after this check, we will be doing a final check, that have we provided the depth or have we provided the dimensions to be perfect or not. And for that we will be using this check, that is minimum eccentricity should not exceed 0.05 D, and from this case we will be finding the value of D. So here E minimum by D, so E minimum was 27.66 we just obtained, and D was 650, and this value comes out to be 0.042, and as per our code it should not exceed 0.05, and the value here comes out to be 0.042 for D equal to 650. So the dimension that we have provided is correct, and it can be satisfactorily be designed as a actually loaded column. Clear? So this is the check that we need to do whenever unsupported length of column is given in question. Clear? So this is our today's exercise problem. Solve it, and we will be moving to the further sums in the next session. Thank you.